Have you ever wondered what it feels like to fight against all odds? To stand tall, even when life has taken everything from you? This is the heart-wrenching tale of a wild Mustang who refused to give up, and a compassionate human who changed his fate forever. Stay with us until the end, because this story will leave you inspired. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below sharing your thoughts. Now, let's dive into this unforgettable journey. In the golden plains of Rolling Ridge, Wyoming, there once roamed a majestic wild Mustang named Storm. For over a decade, he had been the leader of his herd, galloping freely across the open fields, his mane flowing like fire in the wind. His sharp eyes and powerful strides commanded respect from every creature that crossed his path. Storm was not just strong. He was wise, protecting his family through harsh winters, scorching summers, and countless dangers. But time, as it always does, began to take its toll. One day, younger stallions challenged him for leadership. Though Storm fought valiantly, age had weakened him. Defeated but proud, he left the herd behind, choosing solitude over submission. Alone on a vast prairie, Storm wandered aimlessly, searching for food and water, struggling against the unforgiving elements. The pack of coyotes watched him closely, circling whenever they saw an opportunity. The leopards hidden in the hills grew bolder, waiting for him to falter. And then came the accident, a brutal encounter with 3 mountain lions guarding a rare patch of shade under a lone tree. Storm tried to stand his ground, but his strength failed him. A vicious attack left him with a deep gash on his front leg. Blood soaked his once glorious coat as he collapsed, his body trembling with pain. Days turned into weeks. The wound festered, swelling and rotting away at his flesh. Eventually, the lower part of his leg became necrotic and fell off entirely, leaving only a stump near his body. Hunger gnawed at him, and thirst clawed at his throat. He could barely move now, dragging himself inch by inch through the dry grasslands. Yet something inside him refused to surrender. Something told him to keep going, no matter how hopeless things seemed. One sweltering afternoon, a man named Caleb was driving home along the dusty roads of Rolling Ridge. Through the shimmering heat waves, he spotted a limping figure in the distance. Curious, he stopped his truck and stepped out cautiously. What he saw broke his heart. A magnificent yet broken Mustang, its once powerful frame reduced to skin and bones, its injured leg oozing blood and dried tears staining its matted fur. Caleb couldn't turn away. He opened the trunk of his truck and pulled out some fresh meat he bought earlier that day. Slowly, carefully, he placed it in front of Storm. The horse raised his head slightly, sniffing the air before nibbling weakly at the offering. Those ancient, weary eyes locked onto Caleb's, filled with gratitude and exhaustion. Knowing time was running out, Caleb left another piece of meat nearby and reluctantly got back into his truck, promising himself he'd return soon. Exactly an hour later, a rescue team arrived. 3 men led by Michael, alongside 2 others named Sam and Jake. They recognized Storm instantly. Everyone in the area knew about the legendary Mustang who had ruled these lands for years. Michael approached gently, speaking softly to calm the frightened animal. Storm didn't resist. Perhaps he sensed their kindness. Jake prepared the tools while Sam administered a dose of medicine to ease his pain. Together, they lifted Storm into their truck, placing him on a thick blanket to cushion his fragile body. The ride back to the sanctuary was slow and careful, each bump in the road met with silent prayers. When they finally arrived, the medical staff sprang into action. Their examination revealed the grim truth. Storm's leg was beyond saving, but thankfully, the infection hadn't spread further. After much deliberation, the team decided to let Storm live out his final days in peace, surrounded by care and comfort. At the sanctuary, Storm was given a spacious enclosure shaded by tall trees. At first, he barely moved, lying still with his eyes closed, too weak to do anything else. But the staff worked tirelessly, feeding him small portions of fresh food and ensuring he stayed hydrated. Over time, his wounds began to heal, and though he would never run again, he started to regain a little strength. The sadness in his eyes softened, replaced by a quiet contentment. He knew he was safe. Visitors came from far and wide to see the legendary Mustang. Children marveled at his silver mane, a sign of his advanced age, while adults whispered tales of his past glory. Michael often reminded the staff to treat Storm with the dignity he deserved, honoring his legacy as a symbol of resilience. Sam and Jake visited him daily, talking to him as if he understood every word. And slowly, Storm began to trust him, occasionally letting out soft whinnies that sounded almost like stories of his youth, under the watchful eyes of those who loved him. Storm spent his final days in peace, becoming a living legend in the hearts of all who met him. Even in our darkest moments, hope can come from unexpected places. Compassion knows no bounds, and true strength lies not in power, but in perseverance. What happened next? Storm passed away peacefully one morning, surrounded by the people who had cared for him. His legacy lives on, inspiring countless others to cherish the beauty of life and the bonds we share with animals. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs a reminder of hope today. Don't forget to subscribe for more soul-stirring stories, and leave a comment telling us what you thought. Thank you for being here.